head home to Chicago, and Seattle took care of the New England Patriots. But plenty to talk about. Play action, and that one got tipped at the line. On second down, Wilson is sacked. Sacks have been hard to come by, and that's Aldon Smith.
A lot of that has had to do with the quarterbacks they played getting the ball out quick.
Here is a handoff, and short of first down yardage is Travis Homer, and it's going to be a 3-and-out. So the Cowboys came in with 2 sacks on the year from Seattle. Dixon, it's a beauty. C.D. Lamb, the rookie, takes it inside the 15, makes a couple of moves, and to the 20, that's it.
Once again at the tackle position.
Pass is caught. That got onto the receiver, Amari Cooper, fast, and a gain of 6 to start the day for Prescott. Seattle went 3-and-out. Cowboys had a sack. Here's a pass. It was into a tight window for Cooper, incomplete. 3rd down and 4. Prescott, pass is caught. Depends on where they put it. It's enough for a first down as the rookie, C.D. Lamb. And Troy, he's a rookie in name only. They fake it to Elliott, throw it out on the edge to Gallup, and he's up to the 35. And Terrence Steele has been manning the right tackle spot for Lyle Collins. Here's one batted into the air, and the play made by Trey Flowers. Extra men on the rush. Pass is caught by Cooper, and that's another Dallas first down. They will be tested to be sure. First down. Handoff here to Elliott. Finally gets it and gets 8.
No, and it wasn't last year either. And they've become more and more reliant on number 3.
Elliott spun down in the backfield. Alton Robinson active for the first time. 3rd down and 6 now. Prescott throws, pass is caught. Tight end Schultz shook a tackle and now takes it down inside the 30.
For a touchdown, makes a big play there for the first down.
Here's a handoff to Elliott. He gets a yard. On second down, pass is incomplete. Looking for Lamb to come back to the ball. Did not.
Create some havoc for opposing quarterbacks.
And snap came back a little late. Here is one incomplete for Schultz. It's 4th down. Hero in the win last week. Used to kicking in this stadium. Longtime Ram knocks it through. The Cowboys have the first points and their first quarter points of the year. They've been outscored 27-zip in the opening quarter coming in. Come on, Cadillac. Handoff here to Carson. And he runs into a couple of bodies. One of them, Everson Griffin.
Time back there, he'll pick you apart, and he has.
2nd and 8. Pass is caught. And sitting down half a yard short of a first down is Tyler Lockett. Here's Carissa Thompson with a game break on NFL Network. 3rd down and less than 1. Little toss to Carson, no problem. Huge gain. And out of bounds, forced out after a gain of 23. And Ethan Posick out there threw a nice block.
And not expecting anything out wide, they get a puller and an easy first down.
Wilson keeps, surveys, deep ball. There it is, wide open, touchdown, Lockett.
He gets flat-footed, and so Lockett comes off the ball. You got to stay deep. You cannot give up the deep post. That's his assignment back there. You've got 3 defenders.
That one 43 yards to Tyler Lockett, who averages 34 yards per touchdown through his career. 20th touchdown catch over the last 2+ seasons for Lockett. It's 7-3, Seattle on top. And here, that's trouble. And down at the 1 is Pollard.
Back-to-back bad plays. You give up the big touchdown, and then special teams, they put it on the ground, and now this offense starting this drive backed up on the 1-yard line. This is not good.
Here is Elliott. Did he get out? No signal yet.
Maybe from here, Joe, it didn't look like he did, but you're right. There's no signal.
And now they're saying safety. And it is definitely a safety as Elliott slipped, went down, and that's 2 points on the board for Seattle. It's a scoring play, so they will look at it. The call on the field was a safety. It took some conversation to get that call out of this crew. Poona Ford, big number 97, came through and may have put a hand on him.
Yeah.
The Cowboys were after the first quarter and came back and won it.
I'm not so sure he was touched, but there just was not a definitive look to show that he wasn't, and that the ball got out of the end zone.
This is well covered by the Cowboys downfield as David Moore. Up by 6. Russell Wilson is brought to the ground. He got back to the line of scrimmage.
Cowboys have given up a lot of big plays already this year, and you know what you're going to get with Russell Wilson and the speed that they have on the outside, and yet
an injury he suffered in the second half against Atlanta. On 3rd and 8, pressure. Wilson gets rid of it, incomplete, and it was Aldon Smith again.
So Wilson's hands quick. This is an offense as good as they've been through 2 games. They've not been good on 3rd downs, and they're struggling again this afternoon.
Here's C.D. Lamb from just outside the 15. Cuts upfield. Stays upright. Good return by the rookie to the 35. Pass is caught by Cooper, and that is really well played by Seattle. No gain. Bobby Wagner. Handoff here. Elliott. They're going to mark him down shy of the 39. A gain of 3. Alton Robinson's made a couple of plays. The rookie. Should be a free play. Pass is caught by Lamb. Free play, big play. Down to the 33.
He takes it. Dak Prescott with a free play, anticipates the middle of the field, does an outstanding job. And you heard Prescott at the line of scrimmage, and he was asked to do with Jason Garrett's offensive scheme.
Here's a fastball incomplete off the hands of Gallup. 49ers. Prescott has a man, and it's Cooper with a catch. Setting up 1st and goal. A diving grab by Amari Cooper, who's slow to get up.
Technique, so you've got a lot of field to lay that football for the completion.
Here is Elliott picking his way. Reaches, and they mark him at the 1. Wagner brought him down. They marked Elliott down at the 1. He was closer than that. And here he is, short again. Now just inches away. And Poona Ford.
Gotta let Prescott keep this.
Here's Elliott. He reaches for the touchdown. And so no decision will have to be made on 4th down as he's in from 1.
In Refrigerator Perry style. Let him kind of lead the way as a lead blocker, and then Ezekiel Elliott able to get it across the goal line.
Dorsett. And now 4 behind Marion Barber. Extra point hits the upright. And this is a 9-9 game. Extra point. 270 for 277 now, and it's a 9-9 game. He left in the first quarter. Fake it to Hyde. Pass is caught, and a first down. Picked up by the rookie Freddie Swain, who these Seahawks and Russell Wilson love. A gain of 13.
He has a nice little package for him here in the early going of his first year.
Wilson keeps out to his right, and a nice tackle is made by Jordan Lewis. Second down and 11. Wilson gets protection, airs it out. Metcalf is there, and it's knocked out of the back of the end zone. Was he in? Play was made by the rookie Diggs as the officials get together, and it's a touchback. He's there, and Diggs just...
He lets up.
Yep, and he was not in.
No, it's just, and you don't see that from this guy. I mean, he's one of these guys who just never lets up. He's full speed all game long, and he just thought he had beat
it went in and out of the
Diggs
end zone
so badly. Great job by Diggs continuing to play, but that's inexcusable right there by DK Metcalf. As soon as the ball was snapped and you see someone going deep, you know it's a home run shot.
Prescott now just flips it. It's, I believe, an incomplete pass, but no signal yet. Pressure by Collier, and the officials finally get together and say incompletion with no time left on the clock. One more play in this first quarter. Blitz from Seattle. Pass is tipped, and that was Adams. And a flag comes down.
There's no foul for defensive pass interference because the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Simply an incomplete pass. Third down.
Cowboys 5 for 6 converting third downs. Another blitz by Adams. Prescott throws for Cooper, and it gets his helmet taken off, incomplete. And that is the end of the first quarter.
Way that these matchup problems on the back end, I mean, I just expect to see more and more passes as we move through this game.
Here is a fair catch, and then knocked out of bounds off the hands of David Moore after a 47-yard punt. It's back out there for Seattle. They start with Hyde in the backfield and hand it to him. Tries to cut back, lost his footing, got one. Here's Hyde left side. And gets a big hit from Thomas. Antoine Woods got his hands on him first, a gain of 3, so third down coming up. That's Lockett in motion. That's Lockett incomplete. No team uses more motion.
37% through the first 2 weeks, and yet they had over 400 yards of offense on average, and that tells you how they have been a big play offense and haven't really been able to sustain a lot of drives with conversions on third down.
Dallas. And off to Elliott, and a nice play off the edge made by Ugo Amadi.
And he's a bigger challenge, but yet they've contained him here in this first half.
Here is a reverse. C.D. Lamb is going backward, and he draws a crowd. That didn't work. With Joe Looney back in at center.
Running reverses, it's feast or famine, and that wasn't very good.
Here's Prescott. Long way to go, and wrapped up by Wagner. Chris Jones will punt it, which he does. Hits it high. A fair catch by Moore, and he's able to haul it in cleanly this time at the 29. Back of the end zone, and Prescott 3 completions of 28. Not much in between, though. Here's Lockett. Diggs forces him out.
Problems for an offense than the defense they once ran.
Cut back by Carson. He's got a first down and more. Worley made the stop, but a gain of 11 for Chris Carson. Carson, the only back in the NFL the last 2 seasons with over 11 50 yards rushing and 7 rushing touchdowns. He's been busy. Blitz coming, pass caught. Metcalf, Diggs. got 10. We'll see where they put it down and if it's enough for a first down.
Last year, he runs routes and transitions out of breaks like a smaller receiver. He can do it all.
Wilson was looking downfield, flips it high and incomplete. Blitz coming. Pass is incomplete for Metcalf. Back out of it. Wilson is hit and able to hang on. There's a flag down in the secondary as Jordan Lewis ended up making the play, but a flag is down at the 30.
Illegal contact. Number 28, defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
That's against Darryl Worley. Here's Moore. And a good play is made by Darian Thompson.
Carolina.
Wilson steps up, throws, pass is caught for a first down by Lockett.
Back DeMarcus Lawrence, even though he doesn't have a sack, he has been all around Russell Wilson.
Wilson is now chased. Crawford can't get to him, but Jalen Smith forces him out. 2nd and 8. Wilson throws, contact, and that'll be a flag. Pass is intercepted, but Lockett was contacted downfield, and that's where they threw the flag.
Pass interference. Number 26, defense. Automatic. First down.
Wilson throws, end zone, contact, and a flag.
Oh, man.
Brandon Carr was back there defending.
And Russell Wilson just throws it, just trying to give him a chance, see if he can maybe separate.
That foul occurred in
That's
the
when the
end
ball's
zone.
in the air.
The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First down.
With the flag.
3 Dallas penalties on their secondary over 6 plays. Here's Carson stringing it out left side, and they are going to mark him out at the 1.
Red zone in this one, knocking on the door.
Wilson keeps, flips it, pass caught, touchdown, Lockett.
Yeah, good luck trying to cover this for Trayvon Diggs. He steps inside one step, and then it's a foot race, and you're just not going to catch Tyler Lockett. That's down here awfully tough. Play action, you're looking into the backfield, and that route, and no chance. But the penalties.
Career 5'10", 182. He's tough, he can run, he's got great hands. And he's got 2 scores today. Lost free agent Byron Jones to the Dolphins. They're without Anthony Brown and Chidobe Awuzie, both on IR at the moment. And this secondary features a rookie, and Trayvon Diggs is getting worked.
Earl was trying to jump around with them, get them excited out there. Different feel.
Prescott completes for a first down to Cooper. A gain of 14 yards as they play down 7.
Game and the challenges of that.
Good protection here. Flag on the play. Cooper makes a move and still going down at the 40.
To Cooper.
Prior to the pass, holding. Number 21, defense. That penalty's declined. Results of the play, first down.
So that's good work. The Cowboys now going a little bit quicker in their offensive rhythm.
Pass is caught by Cedric Wilson, and he is in for the touchdown. His first catch, and he goes 40 for the score.
All he's got to do is beat this guy right here. You know, that's KJ Wright. The safety was cheating over the top, so there was nobody really in the middle. Diggs tries to get there late to make a tackle, but you see where the safety is. So now he's just got to get inside of that, which he does. There's nobody there then left to be able to make a play. Then it's a foot race, and can he get to the pylon? And he does.
6th round pick out of Boise State. That goes for both secondaries.
Yeah.
Zerline has missed one. And now this one is tipped and no good. Trey Flowers came through.
There's Trey Flowers. He gets around that edge and lays out. He's got some length to him, and that's a great job by him. But yeah, Cowboys special teams.
This is a bad start to this one. Here's a handoff to Carson. He gets 9.5 for his wide receivers. Nothing to the backs, and that's usually a big part of this offense. Carson spins and lunges for the first down.
That's the style of back that they look for. They covet that type guy here in Seattle.
Wilson, Carson broke one tackle, and then Diggs comes down to make the stop.
To be as aggressive as he is, I like seeing that.
On second down, great protection. Pass is caught. That's Olsen. And brought down immediately by Worley. Cowboys back out of the blitz. Wilson looking for somewhere to go. Flag on the play. Wilson short of first down yardage, but a flag in the secondary.
Holding. Defense. 5 yards will be added to the end of the play. Automatic. First down.
Penalties in the game, all on the secondary. Here's Carson left side. Worley brings him down. There's Carissa with a game break. Here is a toss with Carson looking around, and he lost a yard.
Still have 3 timeouts, and they get the ball to start this second half. Cowboys are saying that that's on Seattle.
Looked like the left guard.
Ball start. Number 73. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
That's third down and 12. A stunt up front by Dallas. Russell Wilson looking for somewhere to go with it, and he is short of the first down. Jalen Smith in on the stop, a gain of 8. So that's it for the play clock. And a delay of game call so they don't end up going for it as we look ahead and find out what's coming your way at halftime.
McCarthy calls a timeout there. You know, they just come out and punt right away.
End over end. And it is into the end zone. With Cedric Wilson back, headed their way to start the second half. Prescott throws wide open is Cooper. He makes the catch and then is tackled by Shaquille Griffin, a gain of 5. Prescott throws, pass is picked, intercepted. That's Griffin, stepped in front of Cooper. And the turnover complements the pressure by Jaron Reed.
You can see him right here. And he gets behind, but then he reads the route. He undercuts it. It's hard. That's an angle that the corner then has. And if you don't get that ball way out in front, then that's what happens. You know, Shaq Griffin, the way that he played it, he didn't have safety help either.
Pro Bowler from a year ago, however, and he gets a big one here. One timeout left for Seattle. Pass is caught by Metcalf at the 25. One-hand rush. Wilson steps up, able to get rid of it. Pass is caught and out of bounds is the veteran Olsen.
That middle of the field is where Wilson wants to attack.
Good protection this time. The pass is low again.
Sacks, I guess, to show for it.
Second down. Wilson to his right. Throws. Pass is caught. But a flag on the play as Olsen may have stepped out of bounds. Don't know if there's also a penalty on top of it. And there's the step out of bounds.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Illegal contact. Defense. Illegal touching of the pass by number 88. Offense, who went out of bounds, came back in and was the first touch. There's a correction on the field. Illegal contact. Defense caused the player to go out of bounds. That player came back in and reestablished, caught the pass. So it is a completed pass by the offense. The illegal contact will be declined. First down.
Wilson. Wide open for the touchdown is Lockett.
Or, you know, whatever it is they're playing, but they're man on the backside. On the backside of that, they're playing man, and that's why it was, you know, they go man on one side, zone on the other. You flood the area where they were in man coverage, and there's nobody there. So either you still have to execute. That's what it comes down to. And if the volume is creating confusion, then that's not so good.
Well, that was the talk really all week. For the most part, it's been Lockett for this first half.
Yeah, and, you know, the big plays, and Aaron's going to find out exactly if it was Diggs who should be on him or safety help, but
safety. Ball will come to the 25. That's where Prescott will set up, and we'll send it down to Aaron Andrews.
Pete Carroll very happy about how open his wide receivers are here in the first half.
Here's a ball knocked out of the hand of Prescott and into the arms of the Seahawks, and down to the 5-yard line is Benson Mayowa. Right out of the gate, another Cowboy miscue. Pressure on Prescott. The ball knocked into the air, and Mayowa.
He's double clutching it in the pocket, and that's hard to do. And as he's stepping up, here comes Reed. He gets a hold of it, and that's a great job with interior pressure. We talked about it from both these teams coming in. Have had a hard time getting after the quarterback. Both of them doing a pretty good job to start this second half. And nice work. And through the first couple of weeks, they had been able to create takeaways.
Here's Carson. Carson is knocked down inside the 1.
He had one-on-one and a shot, but ran out of time and got the ball on the ground.
Another wide open receiver. It's Jacob Hollister for the touchdown.
He's able to get right past Joe Thomas. Play action, hard to play. We talk about it each week that, you know, down there, you oversell to play the run to the flat for the score.
Hollister, his second catch of the year, his first touchdown. And the Seahawks can't come at you from a lot of different directions. The Dallas offense will go right back to work us with that big number 12 in the middle. Seahawks fans are missed to this point, but I know they're watching and loving this. Here's Dalton Schultz. He gets 10.
They should be able to continue to throw the football, but can they protect?
Running game really not a factor yet as Elliott carries. Reed with the tackle, a gain of 3. And you know one of the narratives coming out of this, certainly it was coming in, he's played so far. 2nd and 7. Elliott. That tackle up around the helmet, no flag. KJ Wright. Prescott throws, a lot of contact, and Gallup is going to be brought down. That could be inches short of a first down. Pressure by Mayowa. Here is Elliott. And depends where they put it. The near officials running in right at the 45, which would be enough.
Yeah, it looks like from the spot. Take another look at this. Aaron Reed right there in the middle, and Poona Ford. And this might be a little better look at where he got. I don't think there's anything there that's going to change the spot. So here it comes down to the measurement.
And he got it by half the football. Elliott off his hands. Really has not been a factor at all. Does have that short rushing touchdown. That's about it. 2nd down.
The Cowboys have had a tough time. I thought this was going to be a real test for this defense. Even though they've been good through the first 2 weeks, they've held up today too.
Here's a drop by Elliott. That's an incomplete pass. A blitz was on. 3rd down and 10. Cooper, but he is well short. Gain of a yard on 3rd down and 10.
I wouldn't advise it here.
And now whistles before the snap.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Dallas only had 10 men out there initially. So they let the clock wind down. And here's a fair catch hauled in by David Moore.
He's been right alongside with Pete Carroll going back to USC.
Here is a pass caught, and then having to take a seat is Disley. And he ends up losing a yard. Time for today's next-gen stats.
And so you've got the deep threat, the intermediate threat, as well as the stuff in space, and that makes for a dangerous combination.
Here's Carson, lowers his head and bangs into Worley, who took the hit. A gain of 5. 3rd down and 6. Wilson looks left, throws. There's Lockett, makes the catch. Toe taps and out of bounds with a 1st down.
Well, and that's really when a corner is off, because you threaten them with speed, they have to respect that.
Here's Carson running right. DeMarcus Lawrence.
It's turned into quite a division. Arizona, what they've done this year has really impressed people.
Wilson keeps looking to air it out. It's not there, and so he slides with a gain of a yard and a half. Wilson is going to be set for the 3rd time in the game. That's Aldon Smith, his 3rd.
Than he was. They had been using him some in coverage the first couple of weeks, and Mike Nolan said no more of that. He's going to rush the passer.
Beautiful punt by Dixon, picked up by C.D. Lamb. Not much room on the sideline, and a flag at the end of it.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 32 return team. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down. Timeout.
That's Savion Smith. Dak Prescott airs it out on the first play, and he's got Gallup. On the first play, backed up at their own 6.
Prescott's in shotgun. He just simply runs right by Griffin.
Setting up a screen, and another drop by Elliott. We'll go back to the previous throw.
And Prescott making an accurate throw.
Elliott with 3 drops in this game as he dropped the screen. Here's one caught. And now toward the end zone, a flag is down. It's Wilson again.
It looked to me, Joe, like they held Gallup. Here's Trey Flowers and Gallup, and looked like he grabbed. Yeah, there's the grab, and I think that's where the flag came in. That's what I saw when it happened.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact. Defense, penalties declined. Results of the play, touchdown.
How about Cedric Wilson? Had no catches coming in with 5:47 left in the 3rd quarter. Zerlines missed 2 extra points and just got that to sneak in.
He can do what he just did on that last drive.
Let's go back to the touchdown to Wilson.
He was saying he really likes Wilson. Didn't expect him to come in and get as much time as he is today, but he's made the most of it.
Pass is caught down the sideline, lowering his shoulder for extra yards. Carlos Hyde. Wilson protected as all day until now, and just able to get rid of it. Blitz coming from Smith. Jalen Smith can't get there, and the pass is behind and incomplete for Hollister. Four-man rush this time. Wilson steps up, throws, has his man, and you know who it is, Lockett. Those numbers on 12 targets. Here's Hyde right side. Nice gain on 1st down.
Holding. Number 72. Offense. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Wilson able to throw to the far sideline and just into Dallas territory.
Early in the game had nothing to do with defensive calls. It just was breakdowns in coverage.
Here's Hyde. Tried to bounce off Thomas, and Thomas stuck with the tackle, a gain of 4. Third down, Wilson is going to try and escape, and he cannot. Antoine Woods was in there. Alden Smith helped out at the end, and a loss of 10 on another Cowboys sack.
They've just done a nice job.
Woods gets his first sack of the year. End over end, and a new hero is Cedric Wilson to the 11, and that's all with 1:29 left. Mark Wilson down at the 10. Prescott, good protection. Wide open CeeDee Lamb, and he had to reach behind a bit. It's a 21-yard completion with 1:15 and counting.
Across the field, that's there all day.
Ezekiel Elliott into the arms of KJ Wright.
You take a look at this offensive line now, Joe. We touched on it there for a moment. It comes for Seattle.
2nd and 8. Late blitz comes. Pass is caught by Lamb. He's got a first down out across the 40. A big one last week. 2 and 7 in that category. Dak's been tired of hearing that. Trying to set up a screen, and it is not there. And questionable to return with an ankle injury, so they keep dropping. Here's a pass caught and a nice grab by Noah Brown.
Over on the sideline. So Noah Brown makes the catch.
Here's one just floated and wide open, but missed is Blake Bell. Here's Prescott. He picks it up. Fake the toss to Elliott. Try it again. Prescott looked like he wanted to pitch it. Ends up carrying forward for 2. With that makeshift offensive line at 2nd and 8, the line holds up. Gallup has got it for the touchdown. Touchdown, Dallas. And again, it's Flowers as Gallup scores from 43. The Cowboys are down 2, and the offense stays on the field.
It's one-on-one, this time in press coverage. Last time, he just ran by Shaq Griffin. And a ball that is a little underthrown, and yet Gallup able to haul it in. Trey Flowers just never even locates the ball. Gallup doesn't acknowledge when the ball is close to arriving.
Prescott passes caught. That's Brown, and he did not get it. Great strong tackle. Quandre Diggs was first there, and then Ugo Amadi kept him out. Seattle on top.
I tell you, Amadi's only 5'9", but he plays a lot bigger. He's a very physical player. Makes a big stop.
Here's Homer on the return, and the tackle is made after a return of 18 yards by Donovan Wilson. Pass is dropped by Olsen.
And can the receivers free up? The last possession, they were unable to.
Wilson to Carson. 3rd down coming up if you're just joining us. On 3rd down and 4, Wilson is going to take it and get it as he outruns Jalen Smith to the sideline. 13-yard carry by Wilson. And they run it with Carson. Jalen Smith is in there for the stop. Remember, this is a Cowboy defense playing without Leighton Vander Esch. Screen. And the Cowboys able to make a play as Carson takes it to the 47, got 4 and a 3rd. Wilson airs it out. DK Metcalf covered and incomplete coverage by Trayvon Diggs. Dixon those of the football down, end over end. Wilson will stay away, and this one will check up just outside the 5.
The football, they've been able to score. The defense has started making some stops.
Here's C.D. Lamb getting it on a handoff. Prescott with 4 completions of
holding. Defense, number 90. 5 yards will be added to the end of the play. Automatic. First down.
Jaron Reed. So on first down, the pass is either broken up or dropped. Schultz was there, and Wagner got his hand in the way, may have tipped it.
That they can drive the length of the field, they've done it, and they've had some good possessions here as of late.
Here is a pass that ends up in the arms of Gallup. Pinballing around, and Gallup is out to the 31-yard line.
That's a completion that Gallup will never forget.
Here's Elliott, not a factor to this point. I mean, this was...
Oh, wait a minute. That was a heck of a play.
That 9-yard run by Elliott, his longest of the game. Trying to get him going. Good play. That's K.J. Wright. Maybe their best pass rusher. No snap. That's going to be a false start. As the rookie Biotish.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Pass is caught for the first down. Gallup.
Gallup's going to run by him, so it's an easy conversion.
There's a pass caught by Wilson. Gets a block out there, and Cedric Wilson forced out by Griffin after a gain of 7. At home against Atlanta in 1. Prescott throws. Pass is caught by Wilson, who's had a huge game and gets a first down.
They were fortunate that that's all that was picked up.
Here's Prescott now. Going to run it. Has some room and will slide with another first down.
He's made a lot of defenses pay.
Elliott gets the first down. And carries to the 31. In a 2-point game, they are well within range. Prescott. Elliott. Going to be marked down at the 26 as Ryan Neal, one of the extra defensive backs, brought up. It's third down and 4. And if that's against Seattle, it's a first down.
Yeah, both circled. They got Gallup one-on-one on Trey Flowers. He's beating them already.
Defense.
Wow.
5-yard penalty. That yardage results in a first down.
That's DeMontre Moore.
There's a movie.
5 the other way.
Yep.
Should be some finish. 4:19 left.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Big game on the road for his Cowboys. First and 15. They fake it to Elliott. C.D. Lamb stops the clock as he goes out of bounds with a gain of just 2. He was lost in the game to a groin injury. Prescott. Open is Brown, but the pass took him out of bounds. Third down and 13. Prescott to the end zone. Contact there. The pass is incomplete for Michael Gallup. 42-yard try. And Zerline knocks it through. Cowboys on top by 1. And Zerline, who kicks it off here, good from 42. Plenty of time. 3 timeouts for Seattle.
But first, they got to get down there and get in a position to win themselves.
They've punted the ball 3 straight possessions. And again, Wilson having a tough time finding anyone until he finds Olsen up to the 45. Pass to the sideline. Lockett shoved out by Diggs. Here is Carson. Well played by Tristan Hill. He's going to throw it. Pass incomplete for Metcalf. And now the game may hinge on this fourth down play. Wilson throws. Pass is caught. And the first down for Olsen. Catch number 5.
Zone coverage. Free release off the ball. And he makes a nice catch on that ball that was a little behind.
Here is Homer on first down. A nice game. Field goal try from this spot. They don't gain another yard. Wilson keeps. And then floats it out of bounds. Just get it away before the play clock expires. Wilson looking for somewhere to go. This one is caught for the touchdown, Metcalf.
On Metcalf, that's Darian Thompson, and there's no way they think that he's going to continue all the way across to the other side of the field. And then Russell Wilson just drops it in perfectly. I mean, how about the offensive line? They give him the kind of time to just sit back there on a huge third down play.
Wilson throws. Pass is too high. Flag is down. And so is Wilson.
Well, the flag was
personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 72. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. Retry from the 1 yard line.
They get Tristan Hill.
Fake it to Hyde, throw the pass, and it is good for the 2-point conversion, Hollister. And this is a 7-point lead. They lost Chris Carson. They've had injuries on the offensive line. Now leading by 7 with under 2 to go.
It was a nice catch by Hollister, being able to bring that in. And, well, he gets a chance to try to do it all again here this afternoon against the Seahawks.
And he'll have a minute 47, 3 timeouts, starting at his own 25. Prescott with protection. Elliott cuts upfield, gets 10 plus.
And they're using him as a pass edge rusher.
Has to come underneath again, and Elliott's going to hop out of bounds. They lost, the Seahawks did, Jordan Brooks.
They have is instead of not trying to allow 3 points, they're just trying to keep him out of the end zone.
Prescott slides through and will take it. Get the first down and is able to get out of bounds. Knocked out by Griffin after a gain of 6. Prescott, sideline, Schultz. Haven't had to use a timeout yet.
They've been playing wide. Can they get something down the middle?
Prescott throws, pass is caught. That's Cooper. Third down coming up. Another crack at the 2-point conversion, which makes it a 7-point game. Big mistake by the second-year player, and Schultz brought down by Wright with a Dallas first down.
Forced Dallas to burn some timeouts without giving up much yard.
Prescott, Elliott to the 31. That's Elliott, and that's a play by Griffin. Flag is down in the secondary, however, as Shaquem Griffin just made a play, fresh up off the practice squad.
Ineligible player downfield, number 73, offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
It's 2nd and 7 instead of 3rd and 2. Flag here, pass caught. First down for the moment, that's Wilson. They think it's
illegal
against
use
Dallas.
of hands to the face, number 99 defense. That penalty's declined. Results of the play. First down.
And maybe that's why DeMontre Moore was trying to sell it, that it was a hold. 26 seconds left. Prescott with a new career high, 472 pass yards. Wilson can't haul this in. Prescott is going to be sacked. And timeout taken by Dallas as Alton Robinson, his first game in the NFL, makes a play when it matters the most.
To give Flowers and Griffin help.
Prescott is able to stay up to the end zone. It is picked. Seahawks take over. And Ryan Neal just up from the practice squad with the biggest catch of his NFL career. Mayowa got pressure. Prescott stayed on his feet and then throws a game-ending interception.
Well, he does a great job of escaping the sack and then trying to just, give him a shot. But just an ill-advised throw with so many defensive players down there. Just, wasn't out of position yet in the game where he had to make that play. Seattle defensively, they come up and they make the play when they had to make it. They
scouring the waiver wire this week, Seattle, for players, but Ryan Neal is there as they got so thin in the secondary, but had just enough. And the Seahawks win this game by 7, 38-31. They're 3-0. Dallas falls to 1-2. We'll take a break and come back. What a game in Seattle here in week 3. Seahawks win it.